What's up, Fizz Nation? Dan Shalom with you, breaking down everything you need to know from Syracuse athletics in the past week. And sure, Rory might have just won the Masters for the first time ever, became the 6th person ever to achieve the career Grand Slam. But hey, my mind is on everything Syracuse, and we got to start on the gridiron with SU football. The Orange having their spring game yesterday. Blue team taking down the Orange team 16-14. A couple of standouts offensively. Yasin Willis had a rushing touchdown on this one. He's a guy that Syracuse really needs to step up this season in the role of LaQuinn Allen, who will hopefully be drafted in a couple weeks' time. Allen, just such an electrifying back who can really push through anything. Syracuse needs another guy like that this year. And speaking of more people that need to step up, Justice Ross Simmons had 64 yards receiving in this one. He's another guy who needs to step up for this team, who's a little depleted offensively. And then the biggest standout of all from the offensive side of the ball was Jalen Hornsby, the wide receiver, 112 yards on 5 receptions. No Ricky Collins in this game, but he is still projected to be the quarterback one. Fran Brown announced just a couple of days ago, so we'll see how that all goes down. But no Ricky inside of the dome just yet. We got to wait. But someone that Syracuse fans have been waiting to see and did see yesterday was Demetrius Samuel Jr., the two-way phenom at just 17 years old, and he had a team-tying 5 tackles in this one. So that could really be, hey, maybe another Travis Hunter-esque player. We'll see where that goes, but an electrifying start for the 17-year-old. Spring practice ends next week for football, so just going to have to see how everything turns out in that sense. Not too many takeaways that we can draw from on the spring game. We didn't really learn all that much about Fran Brown's team, but in the coming weeks, that will definitely start to happen. Shifting over to basketball, not much has really happened on that side for Syracuse in the last week anyway. Nate George and Nate Kings are the two that really headline Syracuse's transfer portal so far. Nate George led the ACC in assists last year. That's a big pickup. People are hoping that George can really become the Jaquan Carlos that never was for Syracuse this upcoming year. So we're just going to have to wait and see on that front. And then getting Nate Kings is such a big pickup for this team. We know that with the departure of Chris Bell and Elijah Moore, Syracuse was going to need some real three-point shooting. They're going to get that in Nate Kings, shot 44% from beyond the arc with the Oregon State Beavers this past season. So 2 big pickups so far for Syracuse, and they got a couple other guys, 4 in total so far, but for this Orange team, and most importantly for Red Autry, they've got 2 big recruits coming in now in Nate George and Nate King. Still plenty of time left to go to get some more. We'll see how all that turns out. Right now, 10 players on the roster in total for the Orange, and expect that number to go up over the next couple of weeks. J.J. Starling, Donnie Freeman, Nate George, Nate Kings, the biggest 4 on the team. And then, of course, you have Sadiq White and Donnie Freeman coming in via recruiting in this upcoming fall. So that should be electrifying to see inside of the dome. Really a lot of buzz around football and basketball, but one team that's maybe not getting all the love that it should be is Syracuse men's lacrosse. The Orange ranked 4th in the nation going into this past weekend's contest against top-ranked Cornell. Syracuse falls 17-12 in that game, but still a lot of positives to take away. SU went down 8-2 early in the game and around the second quarter and really couldn't dig out of that hole. CJ Kurse had 5 goals, but most of that scoring came in the first half. And SU really limited Cornell down the stretch. It seemed like Syracuse had a chance to go on a run. Came within 2 of the Big Red twice down the stretch, but not converting on a man-up opportunity with around 7 minutes left to go was really the dagger for Syracuse. So the Orange now basically need one more win to guarantee themselves a spot in the NCAA tournament. The last 2 games to finish out the regular season are Duke and North Carolina, 2 top 20 teams. Duke on the road next weekend, then North Carolina at home, and then you still have the ACC tournament. So for me, in my eyes, if you just win one of these last 3, possibly, again, 4 games if they make it to the ACC championship, you are safely in, and that would be big for Syracuse going forward, looking to make it to championship weekend for the first time in a long time. And then otherwise around the hill, Syracuse women's lacrosse, not with the same type of buzz right now. The Orange falling to Virginia Tech this past weekend to an unranked Virginia Tech squad. Syracuse finishes out its season against number 2 Boston College on Thursday night at Christian Brothers Academy. And then some other odds. And then Syracuse softball swept in a weekend series against Virginia. So that's all the happenings on the hill right now. But most of all, Syracuse football, Syracuse basketball, and Syracuse lacrosse all looking strong right now. We're just going to have to wait and see how things pan out in the coming weeks. But for now, and as always, go Orange.